find yourself venturing into a world that is unfamiliar to you in every single way. All you have to your name is your wits and a broken phone that has no internet. But wait, you have the MidFall Podcast in your hands. Here you can listen to the tales of your three hosts, Luis, Josh, and Jared, as they venture through their own creative woes and whatnot. Get ready to be entertained through your wildest dreams as you conquer and face this new threatening world.
Hello everybody, welcome to the MidFall Podcast. I'm Luis, and I am joined by my friend Josh and Jared. And so, we talked about it a couple episodes ago, and now we're actually finally here together in the flesh. And so I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Josh, because we have a specific topic to cover this whole episode, I believe.
Yes. So I just got here about a week ago, and this episode is an episode I believe Jared approached the subject. So we're gonna approach the subject very delicately, very non-world ending, very calm. But Jared and I are both pretty passionate about this subject because of our experience with this series of consoles. I'm gonna just say what it is, and Jared's gonna take it from there. But yeah, also expect some episodes. We're gonna do some recordings here, but might be doing some recordings outside of the place that we're at. So maybe some of those. But Jared, go ahead and get started on the new PS5 announcement.
Oh yes, I'm excited about this one. Okay, so if you haven't known that PS5 has just come out with another iteration called the PS5 Pro. This is including better GPU, more AI-enhanced features for it, and it is coming with a lovely, generous, wonderful price tag of $700. We have some thoughts. On that. First off, what the fuck? Second off, what the fuck? I don't understand why a console like that is even existing right now, because that is exuberantly expensive. Already, when the PS5 came out, it was already $600, and people were like, oh my god, $600? Of course we're excited about it, but honestly, for what you're asking, it's not worth it. It's not worth it in my own personal opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, at which point do you, as a console player, if you're a console player, at what point do you just say that, like, see that kind of price tag and see what they're offering, and then just go, you know what, I'm just gonna go get a PC instead?
Honestly, like, it's like the price tag is one thing, but like also just the idea that they're not adding much. They're not adding much to make that price tag worth it in any semblance.
Exactly. Like, I saw a tweet, and I actually agree with this tweet. It's like, oh, console, blah, 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 $700. $700 is quite a bit. It's just maybe like half the price of what a PC, like a decent PC would be. But a decent PC has so many things you can do with it that a console can't do, which really does suck. Like, I was speaking to Luis about this yesterday, because I already started ranting yesterday. I got my rant out yesterday, but I might rant here. My rant yesterday was about how the PS4 had the feature where you could browse, and Luis brought up, well, the PS3 had it too. So you could browse the internet on like a built-in, not Safari, but like a built-in browser.
My PSP Go had it.
So, like, 3 generations right there. And the PS5, the moment I got the PS5, I legit opened it, unboxed it, plugged it in, and I was ready to start browsing and just start like watching videos on that, like anime or whatever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on there. and I was surprised. I was kind of sad that I spent so much money. Like, there's some good games on it, don't get me wrong. I love the games with Spider-Man and stuff. But it should have had the browser.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. And even just like, even when I got my PS5, I was able to get it through a coworker who was able to like snag some. God bless him. I remember even just picking up the damn thing and being like, God, this is fucking heavy. Like, this is a literal, like, freaking just a hefty tower. Shout out 9/11.
Whoa, because it's it's for the day that we're recording. So, what, did you get the disc version?
Yeah, I got this.
Okay, so that makes sense. So you got the biggest one anyway.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So it's heavy, huh?
It's very heavy.
That's crazy.
Very heavy.
Speaking of disc version, this is the announcement I wanted to bring up to Jared. On the official PlayStation Store, they're selling the disc attachment for the new Pro for $119.
$119?
Yeah.
Really?
$119.
So realistically, you're spending basically $820 for that damn thing if you want a disc. And I heard that even like the stand is like sold separately too. I don't know how much, but I'm assuming that's easily like a $60 to $70 thing.
Oh, you're gonna get PC at any point, like ever at all? Do you ever wanna like at all? I mean, not that it's much better. I mean, like gaming across the whole board is just kind of in a very lackluster spot. I mean, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. There are some games I will say that are like exclusive to that console, even more so from like PCs. So there are those, but I'm not gonna argue with the idea of like getting a PC because honestly, it's overall it would be cheaper than getting like a new console over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think it's like the move to make for the freedom of gaming. Like, you're more free to play different types of games, whether it be like, something random like Minecraft, or playing something random like, I don't know, like TF2, or the game we spoke about earlier, just random games. You have a little bit more freedom. Sure, there's exclusives, but eventually most of those games do come to PC. And from what I can tell, we're all pretty patient when it comes to playing those games. I don't think we mind waiting a few more several months to play a game on the PC and so on and so forth.
I mean, just as long as the ports like actually work, because I mean, I remember at first launch, The Last of Us wasn't working properly on PC. I don't know if it still is, because I haven't really heard about it since then, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how everything kind of goes. I mean, thank God, like, for games like Wukong, whatever the full name of it is, I like it. But, yeah, so, yeah, I mean, those games kind of brought back, like, go back to the actual, like, idea of gaming, right? Just the experience. And, is that game is available on PC, correct?
Yeah.
At first launch? Yeah, I mean, so it's not like we needed, because that's what we relied on consoles for, like Sony's and Xbox is just the exclusives. But if we don't buy them, I mean, they're going to be forced to just at least, appeal to the masses. And yeah, hopefully they just pour more games to PC. I mean, yeah, because I would hate for great games like that to be missed out just because of corporate greed. Yeah, sure. I don't know.
It was good. That was good.
Okay, yeah.
So then, Jared, how do you feel, and Luis, how do you feel about, we've had, different Xbox iterations come out, and I don't think they've really faced too much backlash with, like, these new consoles they have coming out. Maybe they timed it better. Maybe the consoles have been different enough. What do you think about this new PS5 Pro, I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
PS5 Pro that is, throwing people for a loop. Is it just the very limited upgrades that it has, or maybe just the amount in the list? It was throwing people off, like, even though they're big things like AI stuff, ray tracing, all this jazz, it's not enough because of the amount, or it's not enough because it's not, like, fluffy enough, or what do you think?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Honestly, I feel like it's kind of just all three kind of just together. I feel like to justify such a price increase from the original PS5, to which even still, like, not a lot of people have them, because from what 2020 really solidified. But yeah, I just think all the things together, basically just making it a more souped up PS5 Slim, like it's just not worth it. It's just not worth the price tag of it. Like, I find no interest in buying it. I just say get a regular PS5, because at least then you can have a stand with it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't have, I haven't gotten a console since the Xbox One first came out. After that, I got a PC. But regardless, I don't really play like video games as much as I did back then. Because when I did get the Xbox, I was like, I think I turned 14. So I think that I'm looking at it from a person that doesn't have a console, again, point of view. So from that point, it's just still too expensive. They just, if anything, made the barrier to entry like that much less intriguing, or like that much harder. Because at first it was, man, I can't find a PS5 anywhere. That was hard, right? So now it's like, oh, now I can get it, but now I feel like you're upcharging. Granted, that could just be due to the state of the economy, right? Like inflation. Like, I don't necessarily know if that's like what the video games are like supposed to be going for nowadays. But yeah, it's just because also from a consumer standpoint, shouldn't the base PS5 be running at 60 frames full resolution anyway? Because that's kind of what they're guaranteeing with the PS5 Pro. So because the previous iterations would at least base to Pro would at least run a higher frame rate, or stuff like that, correct? Something like that, like at the very least. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't know if at this point it's just you're upcharging for something that the original console is supposed to already be able to do. So yeah,
absolutely. I feel like there's two things I want to bring up: the AI part, and then also video game prices. But I'll bring up video game prices later. We're seeing AI is great in terms of boosting capacity, increasing performance, helping the user enjoy their experience more. Don't get me wrong. The only issue I have is I feel like they threw it in there as like a buzzword to make people happy.
A gimmick.
Like, of course it's doing something, and maybe they were already working on it since the PS5 came out, because AI has definitely been in development for over 10 years. We know that.
Yeah.
But it feels like it was added to the list of words in the tweets that came out, and the posts, the social media posts, because it's a gimmicky word that can be thrown out, and people are like, AI? Awesome, it's gonna make my experience 10 times better. In reality, we don't know how much better it's gonna be with it until we try it, of course.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think about that? Like, any gimmicky words that you've seen in your AI part, what's your opinion on
that? Yeah, no, I mean, it is kind of a gimmick. I mean, right, like, we've seen it with, I don't know, because I don't have an Android anymore, but I don't know how many people actually use, Bixby, or, Google Assistant, or whatever, if you have an Android. I don't know if, so I feel like that's kind of the equivalent, because when I go on a console, I'm just expecting a game. I don't know if I'm really expecting, AI to I don't know, do really how much more I can expand that experience. So I haven't really seen any of the advertisements though for it. At least in terms of how it's gonna better the experience. Maybe you can tell me that, Jared, within your explanation, but if you don't,
Experience-wise, I mean, I guess it really just kind of depends on how you use it, really. I think that's like the biggest thing about it. And I think over-reliance on it can really lead to a detriment because it's not a perfect system. We've seen throughout like multiple years that AI is not the best system. You need some level of like, you know, kind of correction.
It's still in its infancy
Yeah.
stages. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As much as it's getting like implemented in almost everything that we have to a larger extent, it's still not a perfect system. But funny enough, in terms of like gimmicks, just thinking about it for a little bit, it kind of reminds me of when the Wii came out with all of its like motion censoring and whatnot. Xbox had Kinect. I believe the PS4 had something similar with like the Wii, something similar to like the Wii remotes and whatnot. I forget the name of it, but
I'm gonna stop you right there, dude. The Wii was not a gimmick, dude. That as actually executed well. We want to talk about gimmicks, we can talk about the Wii U.
I agree.
We can talk about the Wii U, okay?
I agree to that. I'm more so saying like that what the Xbox and the PlayStation brought out afterwards to it. I love the Wii.
Yeah.
100%, I love the Wii.
No, I agree. I think it was like a trend thing, more so than a gimmick thing. Like the trend was established by Nintendo with the whole, movement-based experiences. And even with their balance board as well, like they even elevated it with not just the remote, and they also added the nunchuck thing. You could use like the left hand or the right hand if you're left-handed.
And even the rotation.
Yeah, the rotation of it.
Things
right.
on the Sports Wizard.
Yeah. So Nintendo was very much, maybe they were innovating compared to everyone else, but everyone else either already had the technology in development, or they immediately were like, oh, we gotta get on this too. So they immediately got onto it. Maybe because they saw the vision that Nintendo brought or something. But I did see a tweet of the CEO of Nintendo Japan, and it was a tweet of him, just a photo of him, and it says, release something that everybody loves, and then watch everyone try to replicate what you do and destroy themselves. So honestly, if you think about it, Nintendo brings up something and it works out really well, and then other people try to follow suit and it either works out almost as good, maybe even better, but it's always going to be seen as Nintendo did this first. I think that's why Nintendo's not iterating on the Switch just yet. Like, I know we have like leaks and announcements that should be happening, but as of right now, recording this, Nintendo hasn't announced anything. They haven't released anything because they already released something that's great. The Switch is great. The Switch still follows the technology of like movement with the hands and stuff, and it actually like further developed it. And yet now we have like Microsoft and PlayStation or Sony just competing. It's a non-stop competition between the two of them, and Nintendo's just taking a step back and just watching from afar. Nintendo, maybe it's because of their whole dynamic of not getting involved in the mess, but they haven't been involved in the mess for a very long time. I don't know if they've ever been involved in the mess. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not really. Like even back to when the first Sony PlayStation came out with like actual discs to hold like more storage, they were still using like cartridges for like the N64. And it wasn't until like the GameCube where they started actually using discs, but they were a lot smaller in comparison to like the PlayStation 2, the Xbox. So yeah, Nintendo doesn't really like go in for the competition all that much. I feel like maybe in like some hardware situations, but for the most part, like they kind of just do their own thing with it. And for a lot of cases, like it helps kind of differentiate it. Some cases it doesn't. It can like hinder the popularity of it, but overall, they're still afloat. They're still fine.
Oh, there was the other topic. The other topic I wanted to bring up, what was it? It was the video game prices, right? So we all know that there's been like leaks, quote unquote, announcements of game companies slowly but surely increasing their video game prices. Like at the moment, we're paying what, $60 for video games?
On average, yeah.
On average, we'll say like $60. I think we can all imagine a reality where we see $70 to $80. At that point, would you guys stop buying those games if it went that high?
So I mean, on average, Call of Duty games are coming out now to $70. Right? Like Modern Warfare 2, or I think Cold War to Modern Warfare 2 and all that stuff. Like those were 70. So unless I truly see value in it, I don't think I'll be spending that much money. Because, I mean, again, I am on PC as well now, like when I do choose to play video games, so, yeah, you know, I do have, like, cheaper options for video games, like, if one intrigues me, but, yeah, I mean, if GTA 6 turns out to be $80, I'm still gonna pay it. Why? Because I trust the brand, I trust I don't know, I trust it's going to be a well-made game, you know? I mean, GTA 5 was not a letdown. Red Dead Redemption 2 was not a letdown. Well, at least in terms of the storyline, you know, everything. So, yeah, but if just some run-of-the-mill, like, the average AAA game, if it's $80, I'm not gonna fall for it. It's still gonna have to be a reputable game studio. Like the same conditions are still gonna have to apply. You know, if anything, I'm gonna hold my standards higher now. Yeah.
Kind of in the same boat over here is I'm only gonna really go for the games that I truly want to get, and if they get like to an exuberant price and I just don't feel like the actual quality of the game matches the price, I'm not gonna pay for it. Like, you don't have to. I know for some people they're like, oh, I have to get like every iteration of like the newest game. It's not worth it. It's not worth it sometimes. I have homies who are like, oh man, like, you know, Black Myth Wukong just came out, the Elden Ring DLC just came out, Star Wars Outlaws, it just came out. I'm like, damn, I don't got that much money. Like, yeesh. Like, easily, that's already, like, if we're just talking like $60, that's 180 right there. Like, that's too much. And you know, there's so many games coming out, like, throughout the year. It's like, let me just take my time with it. Like, I don't need to be spending all that much just to have like a huge backstock.
There's one specific game that's coming out.
Oh yeah, there's one game. But
I'm really itching for it. I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
You know, like, no, go.
Yeah, no, I've just been thinking about it, man. I was thinking about it last night. Sparking Zero, but. Yeah, see, again, that's a game. $80? All right. Yeah.
You won me over.
Take my money. But again, that is also, I'm acknowledging that's still $80 on a maybe. Like, I am fully bought in, but I know. I'm not, like, better than anybody else. Like, I know what I'm getting myself into. Again, it's still a maybe. So, until it still like proves itself too, and until I play it, well, I know that it's worth $80, you know. So yeah, what are your thoughts on it? On that game? You look like, yeah, you're excited.
You can see him like shaking like in excitement, like he can't wait to destroy us in that game. He's gonna make these story missions just for us. It's gonna be a Majin Vegeta story mission where you kill your own child. He's gonna do that for Elise.
Hell yeah,
Us?
Or you're just gonna be like a Cyberman versus the world. I'm gonna have you just like take out like a Repetara Beerus, you know?
Yeah, I already know Jared's gonna get super into the game. I think I will too. I think the game's coming to PC, right?
I think so.
I think I'll be buying it for PC if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, I wanted to get it for PS5, but I think it would be easier for me to enjoy it on PC because if there are mouse controls, it'd be easier for me to do stuff like creating stories. I feel like it'd be a little bit easier for me to enjoy creating the stories with mouse controls.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Well, any other topics, or is that gonna be it for this one?
I don't got much else.
Before we end it, make sure you guys subscribe, follow, like whatever platform has those features. Share it if you can. We're going to be posting on our Instagram if Luis wants to say, remember the Instagram handle right now? Off the top of your head?
MidFall Company.
MidFall Company is the Instagram handle. You guys want to follow up. We have our Instagrams and everything linked down below. If this is on YouTube, whatever platform, you'll be able to see it somewhere in some description. You guys want to follow us. Jared makes music, Luis makes beats. I do random stuff.
MidFall.99 on Instagram as well. There's gonna be more posts on that one as well. Just the graphic stuff. They give more to the vibe of the brand and stuff like that. And then also follow Jared's handles on Instagram. Jared, go ahead.
Oh yes, if you want to follow me on Instagram, go follow me at Black Pumpkin Boyo, all one word, where I try to post more frequently, but also you'll hear music stuff there as well, so please keep updated.
Yeah, my Instagram is Yosh, so you place Josh with a Y, Yosh Network. We're doing some travels, I'm going to be posting about it soon, just pictures. In the future, mid-fall, the goal is to do some travels together, the three of us, maybe 4+ people that we know, that we grew up with, or we know closely, and maybe making some content while we travel, whether it be pictures or videos or, you know, just random stuff like playing card games, honestly. We'll figure something out. You guys know the vibe that we have at this point. We're like on, what episode is this again?
9.
Episode
8 or 9.
No, I think it was like 7 or 6.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll know. You'll see the title. You'll see the title.
Exactly. But yeah, we're wrapping it up. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Start the audio.
Whoa.
Okay, one more. Okay, sorry.
Bloopers.
I'm really trying. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MidFall Podcast.